Okay, so we don't have a project here. Let's create new project, and I'll call it netset because I'm setting the IP address. And I'll just go ahead and create. Give it a second to get its thinking done, and you've already seen this before, so why am I boring you with it again? I want it to stick, okay? Repetition, all right? Don't worry about it. It doesn't cost you any extra. Going into configure a device, add a new device, and we want to make sure out of these three boxes here, HMIs, PC systems, we want to make sure we have controllers picked so that I can find my device up here. That's going to be a 1200 CPU, and I've got the 1214 DC, DC, DC. So just keep clicking on that until it decides to open. The third one is the option that I've got. Hit add and give it a hot second, and that should open up into my project view. Come on, baby. Tick tock, the world is waiting. Do your thing, software. And yep, here it comes. There it go. All right. And right away, I've got my device here. I'm going to click on this little green Ethernet port right there and look down here. This is where I get to set what my actual IP address is going to be. Mine is going to be 101. Okay, now here's how you find out what IP address to use. Let me stop for a second and back up because maybe you aren't a big networking person, okay? So I'm going to come to my Start menu, go down here to Windows System, take my command prompt, and here I'm going to type ipconfig, that's IPCONFIG, hit enter. Now, I'm looking for whatever network that I'm actually going to be using to generally communicate with my PLC. Right now I'm jacked straight in, so it doesn't matter. And that's probably going to be a wireless network because it is the 21st century after all. We're not still using cables all the time, but maybe you're on a cabled network. Whatever the case, you want to look at your network adapter here that's assigning for your computer, and you want to see that IPv4 address. And you see how mine is 192.168.0.10, and my default gateway is 01. Okay, down here that's my router's IP address. Well, my router is going to assign IP addresses to devices, or it's going to allow devices to communicate back and forth that are within this subnet mask, which basically means these first three octets, the 192, 168, and the 0, those need to be the same. And then this last number is what's going to be different. This 10 can be anything from 0 to 255. Okay, so I've configured that 101 right down here. And now that I've got that, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to run this search for available or accessible devices. And I'm looking for my PNIE. So I'm going to go ahead and take that. And then under this PGPC interface, I'm going to take the network adapter that is supporting the Ethernet port that my PLC is plugged into, okay? So that's not going to be your wireless one that you're using for everything else. That's going to be whatever is actually, offering you the physical connection to your PLC right now. So once I pick that, and I'm going to hit Start Search, and it's going to search the network, and it's going to look for any devices that I might be able to communicate with. In this case, it found mine, and you can see that mine already has this address put in, but yours will probably show up with 0000 or something like that. So once we find it, let's go ahead and hit Show. And now it knows what your PLC is supposed to be. And once we've got that, we can go online with that PLC, select it, go online, and again, we're going to have to look for it. So now we've already defined it. Let's go ahead and hit Start Search, and it's going to look for it again for the communication. It's attempting to connect. Okay, found it. And now that we've got it, we can click Go Online. And there we go. We should be online with it at this point. And you see mine is giving me these little these little orange errors here. And the reason is because I've already got a program in my PLC, and it's saying, hey, you know what, these things are different. You know, you've got different tags, different all this stuff. Well, for right now, I'm just going to try to download to the device. So whatever program I've got right now, which is nothing, is going to be overriding whatever's in the PLC. And in your case, you know, that you shouldn't even probably have these orange errors if you're just setting something up. So I'm going to continue without synchronization. I'm going to load. And right now it's going to write whatever program I've got, which is nothing. And it's going to write that into the PLC. But more importantly, it's going to write in our IP address. So I can just hit finish. I don't really need to go online or start the PLC or anything.